Hey everybody! It's been a while. Well, I mean, you've seen some of my videos. I posted a tutorial and like random things here and there, but for the most part, for the last while, I've been pretty inconsistent and pretty inactive, and I figured it was time that we have a chat. I don't know what to say. Why don't I know what to say? You know what I really want to say? I want to say that this is really hard. This is hard. So many of us spend so much time on the internet, watching people create content, absorbing social media, and we all know that it has a lot of negative effects, and yet there are a lot of great benefits of it. And part of why I want to do social media is to contribute to the positive sides of that. I do think social media can be a beautiful, powerful tool for good, and not just a terrible, addicting, manipulative drain on our lives. I do genuinely believe it can be that other thing, and that's part of why I want to make content. I want to be one of those good things, and I love how many people I've been able to help with my tutorials and my generally positive videos. But boy, it's hard. It's so much harder than I thought it was gonna be. The Taylor Tries brand has grown a lot, and as you grow, you get new problems and new difficulties. I really wasn't prepared for them. I thought I was, and I'm not. And the truth is, I'm not handling them really well. I feel stuck. I feel a little burned out. It's probably the appropriate word for it. And it's a little lonely because I don't know a lot of people who seem to relate to a lot of the problems that I'm experiencing, and I don't really know how to talk about it. And so my response to all of this has been to hibernate and try to work on my stuff alone until I can figure it out so that I can come back. And that's why you've seen on my channel for the last few months a disappearance, and then I'll come back with like, hey, I'm back, it's gonna be fine, and then I crash again. And that's because I'm really trying to figure out the things that I'm struggling with and how to fix them, and I'm failing. I'm failing. Part of what's made me a good juggler throughout my life is that I'm drawn to new and fun and creative and exciting things. I have an energy for doing that weird thing that a lot of people find useless and not worthy of all of that time that you've spent. I love that stuff. And that's also why I started Taylor Tries, because I love trying a new thing and just going all in on it and failing at it and getting better at it and just having a good time along the way. And I really want other people to do that more. But at the same time, the things that make me a really good juggler and a really interesting person with a lot of weird hobbies is also the same part of my brain that makes it really hard for me to be consistent with making videos. Those normal job-like things, the editing, the posting, emails, the business, I suck at it. I really have a hard time with it, and I spend so much time trying to get better at it and trying to come up with ways to stay accountable, and that's why you see me change my schedule every 3 months. I promise you, it's not because I'm overestimating what I can do, or at least not in the way that you probably think. It's that I'm trying to find that balance, and I mess it up. I have so many ideas for what I want to put on this channel. I have so many things I want to share with you, so many things I want to try, so many things I want to teach you. I'm just having a really hard time figuring out technically how to do that and how to make that work in a way that doesn't stress me out so much. And it's not because I'm not putting in the time, and it's not because I'm not thinking about it, and it's not because I don't want to do it. It's because my brain is a little different. And even though that's something that makes this really hard, it's also the whole reason that I have this channel, and I'm very thankful for that. And I'm just trying to figure out a way to take those positives that make me so me and harness them a little bit to allow me to do the hard parts that I really struggle with. And to be honest, there's another aspect to this. Beyond editing and not being able to do that, there is another really big thing that has been messing with me a lot and making it really hard for me to make content. When I started posting on Instagram a few years ago, I made a promise to myself that it would be for me. I wouldn't care what people thought about it, and I wouldn't put pressure on myself to be good. And it was my guiding light as my channel grew and I started getting mixed reactions. It kept me grounded. And for the past year, as I've gone into YouTube, I've really tried to hold on to it. The bigger that my channel gets, and the more that I do this, the harder it is to not care what the audience thinks. I really didn't think this was ever gonna be a problem for me, because it's just not something I've ever valued about the internet. I'm not somebody who wants likes or feedback, any of it. I don't really care. But for some reason, the bigger I get, the harder that is. And I realized the other day that I'm afraid of you. I'm afraid of your feedback and your lashback and your praise and your criticism and all of it. And it's been a fear that has been slowly creeping up over the past year. And logically, I get it. I know you can't please everybody. Haters are gonna hate, and don't feed the trolls and all this stuff. All these things that we say and everyone knows. But when you're doing it, it's so much harder. It's like telling a juggler, just don't drop. Of course they know not to drop, but they do. And that's how I feel. I feel like I know logically I'm supposed to not care, but I don't know how to not do it. For the longest time, my answer to all this was just to not let any of it in. And I genuinely think that's the best way to do it, to not let the good or the bad in, because it can't be about you, because there are too many of you and you all want different things. It has to be about me and what I want to put out there and what I want to create. But the bigger you get, the harder that is to do. And the more that it becomes a business, the more there is a relationship between your audience and you and a customer and a product, and it gets all jumbled together and it's hard to balance. You know, your comments are like a freaking Jackson Pollock painting and you're like, just let all the other colors in, but don't look at the red stuff. How do you do that? I can't not see the red, you know? Like logically, it's very hard to filter some things and not others. And to be honest, like some of the comments aren't necessarily terrible, in your face, horrible, but they don't make you feel good. So where's that threshold of what you let in and what you don't? And a lot of the time, those gray ones are the ones that if you don't respond to, those get worse and worse, and those people come back angry and mad, and they harass you, and they send you scary messages. Not just mean ones, but scary ones. And you know that you're just one person away from ignoring too much that they show up at your house, or they dox you, or they hack into your accounts, or something. And the sad reality of it is that so many of those things that I feel come from being a woman on the internet. Every time I get a comment or message online about my body, my hips, my breasts, my clothes, my mouth, my eyes, my hair, my glasses, and all the messages and comments that I get reminding me that my achievements are not my own. They are because I am a woman, and the only reason that I have value is because men find me attractive. Because at the end of the day, the game is not fair. We weren't even allowed to play the game for a really long time, and now that we are constantly being told that we are playing by different rules. And it's hard that when you talk about it, people tell you to just ignore it. It sucks, and it's a real problem. And yeah, it's worse on the internet. It's more direct, it's more obvious. But make no mistake, the reason why it hurts so much is not because it's more obvious. It's because it's real. It's a reminder that no matter how much I want to just juggle, I don't get to. And I hate that I can't appreciate all the wonderful comments I get online telling me all these beautiful things and how I've impacted your lives and helped you and how much you're enjoying juggling or learning or trying things. I love those things so much, and I hate how hard it is to let those in and not let the other ones in. But they just all get mushed together, and it's really hard. And it sucks that if I don't read the comments, it makes you feel hurt in some way, or like I don't care about the impact I have, because that's not true. And it's that mentality that gets me stuck. It's the fear of getting those harassing comments or disappointing the people who like me that makes me afraid to make content sometimes. You know, it's why I'll sit and spend an hour before I film double checking that I'm dressed correctly, that my shirt's not too low, even though it's really comfortable and I just want to wear a tank top because it's hot. Why is it that I have to worry so much about bending over when I juggle just because I'm wearing comfortable clothes? It's just stuff that I didn't know was going to be a problem. I didn't know how hard this was going to be to make so much content so consistently, to deal with the constant feedback and opinions, and having to balance that with harassment and sexism and objectification and making people feel seen and heard, and the multitasking that it takes to be able to do that and make content while also responding to emails and managing websites and managing patrons and managing a business while also still finding the joy and motivation to do all this. It's so hard. It's so much harder than I thought it was gonna be. I did my research. I knew it was going to be hard. It's harder. It's harder than you think it is. I don't know what I'm doing. But I've always said that life is like juggling. You're gonna try something, and you're gonna mess up. You're gonna try again, but you're gonna mess up. Some days are gonna be worse, some days are gonna be better. For the most part, if you keep trying, eventually you'll get the trick. The hard thing about this is that when I mess up, I feel like I disappoint a lot of people. Or I upset a lot of people. Because I mess up a lot. I'm a big screw up. It's why I love juggling. And it's why I try to tell you all the time that it's okay. Because that's what I tell myself. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to fail and to not know how to do it. And I've been just trying to remind myself that with this. I feel like I'm messing up. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know when I'm gonna post stuff, but I do know that I love doing this. And I so appreciate all the support that I get. I do appreciate all the positive comments, patrons who like what I do enough that they wanna see me keep doing it. I do know that I love teaching you and helping you find things that you love. And I know that I wanna figure this out no matter how hard it is. And what that means is that I might make some stuff you don't like. I might be sort of erratic with my posting. I might not look the way you want. I might make you uncomfortable, or I might make you feel really great. I don't know. There's too many of you, and I don't want to think about that. Even if I don't respond to all your comments all the time, I do appreciate the positivity that some of you put out into my channel and into the world. And I do feel it. I can't promise that I'm not going to mess up. What I can promise you is that I'm gonna try. And I can promise you I'm gonna fail along the way. It's tough having 100,000 people telling you what to do and how to think and how to act and how to react and what they want and why you're not doing it or why you are doing it and all this. It's just a lot. It's a lot. So, it's like a chess game, but you're playing with 100,000 people and you're always losing. That's what it feels like.